We are live. Please start.
Okay. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, friends. Welcome to our day 3 of 21 days spiritual retreat with 21 doctors. Today we have Dr. Samidha Sharma. Let me give a brief introduction about her. Dr. Samidha Sharma. She was born in Ambala, Haryana, India. She comes from a Brahmin family with religious attributes, and they consider meditation as a key of happiness for all. After completing her schooling from the Convent of Jesus and Mary, she joined the prestigious MSM Ayurvedic College at Kanpur and completed her BA MS and internship in 2006. She started her own private practice. Then she was selected for Haryana Government Services as Ayurvedic Medical Officer in 2011. A keen advocate of Ayurvedic system of medicine, which she felt was not as it is today. She put her heart and soul into treating her patients who were highly satisfied with her treatment. Her main emphasis was on Ayurveda lifestyle and yoga for a healthy and a happy life. A yoga enthusiast, she did a number of yoga courses, including one at Muraji Desai Institute of Yoga at New Delhi, followed by a Panchakarma course at Kerala. In 2019, during the national seminar at Kurukshetra, she presented a paper on musculoskeletal disorders. The subject that is very close to her heart is female health and happiness. Deeply into meditation and yoga, she is associated with a number of groups like Vyayamashala, Bharat Mata Yoga Parishad, Brahmakumaris, etc. The government Ayurvedic dispensary Bana, where she works, was chosen as one of the 10 best dispensaries, and the same was upgraded to Ayush Health and Wellness Center by our Honorable Prime Minister on 30th August 2019. Presently, she's totally motivated in looking after advisory and inspiring patients of COVID 19, along with spreading messages on how to gain health through Ayurveda. Today, she will be putting light on the book, The Secret Life of Plants by Peter Tompkins and Christopher Bird, which she is already explaining in Hindi on PMC Haryanvi's Vanaspati Vigyan series. So, let us all join to welcome Dr. Samidha Sharma to provide her insights on the book. Namaste, madam.
Thank you, ma'am, for such a beautiful introduction. Namaskaram to all. With blessings of Lord Dhanvantari, Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Gurur Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. I would like to offer my salutations, first of all, to my gurus. It's a great opportunity to be amongst all spiritual gems, meditation aspirants, and yogis who are with us today on this PMC platform. It is said that one must always be careful of books and what's inside them, for words have the power to change us. So, friends, how about some talk about the ones who act as our parents, friends, and give us everything without expecting anything from us? The ones who never express themselves and ask anything in return. The book I will talk about today is named The Secret Life of Plants, that unveils the secret of plants that are from time immemorial being used or reared for our selfish ends. How many times do we stop and think about their lives or to respect them enough as not to waste or destroy them unnecessarily? This book, The Secret Life of Plants, has been really famous apart from its beauty and research facts. It documents controversial experiments that claim plant sentience and through that discusses philosophies and farming methods based on their findings. This book has been cherished by botanists and scientists who have applauded it for its remarkable information about plants as they detect ecological sentinels, response to music, creative powers, adaptation to human wishes, and their ability to communicate with humans. Plants tend to exhibit empathetically and have spiritual relationships, not limited by distance, and they react to joy and other human emotions like jealousy, love, and hatred. Let's first talk about the authors. Peter Tompkins, born in 1919 in Athens, Greece, was an American journalist. During World War II, he was working in the Office of Strategic Services as a spy in Rome. A war correspondent, he worked as an undercover agent. His first publication was his diary in 1962, A Spy in Rome. He has authored numerous books like The Secrets of Great Pyramid, Mysteries of Mexican Pyramid, Magic of Obelish, that are actually taken as the classics of New Age liberation. He has also hosted a documentary film, The Secrets of Bermuda Triangle, in 1979. He departed his life at an age of 87 in 2007. Talking of the co author, Sir Christopher Bird was born in Boston in 1928. He graduated from Harvard College and worked on Eastern European studies and Polynesian anthropology. He worked as a journalist while he served in the army in Vietnam and also served with the CIA. Besides being a co author of this book, The Secret Life of Plants, he has to his account many famous books like The Divining Hand, The 500-Year-Old Mystery of Dawsing, The World of Inspector Morse, and many more. He left for his heavenly abode at an age of 65 years in 1996 in LA. Shot of an Aphrodite. There is nothing lovelier on this planet than a flower, more essential than a plant. The true matrix of human life is the green sward covering Mother Earth. Without green plants, we would neither breathe nor eat. On the undersurface of every leaf, a million movable lips are engaged in devouring carbon dioxide and expelling oxygen. This is the beauty of plants. From crib to coffin, man relies on cellulose as the basis for his food, his shelter, clothing, fuel, fibers, basketry, musical instruments, you name it. And it's from plants. Aristotle's dogma that plants have souls but no sensation lasted through the Middle Ages and into the 18th century when Carl von Linné, grandfather of modern botany, declared that plants differ from animals and humans only in their lack of movement. After these, 19th century great botanist Charles Darwin proved that every tendril has its power of independent movement. At the beginning of the 20th century, Viennese biologist Raoul Franz put forward the idea that plants move their body as freely and gracefully as most skilled animals. The only reason we don't appreciate the fact is that the plants generally are very slow to show responses. But plants seem to be and are much more livelier than we assume them to be. But there are hundreds of examples that defy this perception of ours. The more sophisticated acacia, as we can see in the slide, actually enlists the protective services of certain ants, which it rewards with nectar in return for for the ants' protection against their insects. The sundew plant grasps at a fly with infallible accuracy, moving in just the same direction towards where the prey is found. Some parasitical plants can recognize the slightest trace of odor so as to catch their prey in one and only first attempt. The orchid, Trichosaurus parviforus, will find it fatal to imitate the female of the species of fly so as to exactly ensure the male pollinates the flower, assuming it to be her female. Isn't this hilarious? Not to forget the Mimosa Pudica that has that is also known as touch me not plant, and that has a mechanism which reacts whenever a beetle or an ant crawls up its stem, and just at that very moment the leaves turn inside. Cleese Baxter, who was America's lie detector examiner, attached an electrode to a plant to find out whether plants have emotions. He was responsible to bring about a renaissance in this plant world. There are several questions, answers to which had to be found out, like, do plants think? Do they really think? Can they read our mind? Can they show emotions? Emotions those of love, hatred, jealousy? Do our opinions deter them? Baxter thought that as the most effective way to trigger a human being is to threaten his well being, plants can be tested in just the same way. So let's try to disturb plants to come to know how lively they are. So he dunked a leaf of dragon plant into hot coffee and noticed the readings in the galvanometer. He found no reactions. In the next moment, he got a picture of a flame in his mind and thought that he would burn the leaf. To his amaze and surprise, he found a dramatic change in the tracing pattern on the graph or in the galvanometer. Could plants have been reading his mind? And could they guess what was going on in his mind? Was a big question. Baxter first considered his plant's capacity for picking up his intentions to be some form of ESP or extrasensory perception. This perception was beyond and much more than the perceptions our five sense organs give to our brain. Maybe plants see better without eyes. Maybe they don't require ears to listen to us. Baxter surmised better than humans do with them. Another important question is, are they self defensive? Yes, they were. According to Baxter and his experiments, even after reading the mind of a man with cruel intentions, a friend of Baxter was a scientist who was dealing with burning the leaf of the plants and turning them into ashes. Just as the scientist came near the plants, they could get the feeling and his intentions as well. and these readings could be recorded in the galvanometer. Do plants maintain link or affinity? Do they really love? To find answer to this question, Baxter studied three plants that behaved the same way after he returned back to his house after a long time. So they tend to miss their owners as well. Hence, Baxter concluded that plants had a special extrasensory perception, and this was beyond human capabilities. But still, lots more had to be explored in this world, which was further continued by Marcel Vogel of California, who had studied for years to become a Franciscan priest and delved into research work in mid 1950s. Marcel Vogel divided his students into three groups and tried repeating Baxter's experiments, but none were successful. But when he duplicated those experiments, he alone seemed to be successful. He reasoned it as there was some kind of psychic energy that was responsible for all this. So, for further research on, he requested his spiritually gifted friend, Miss Vivian Willey, who picked up two leaves from a sacrifice or a plant, one of which was kept at her bedside table and other in the living room. She looked at the bedside leaf with love every day and ignored the other one completely. After a month, Vogel visited her and could hardly believe what he found. The leaf, to which Vivian had paid no attention, was flaccid, turning brown, and beginning to decay. And on the other hand, the leaf she loved every day was as fresh as it was just plucked. Vogel was convinced that he was witnessing the power of some psychic energy in action. He also discovered that plants reacted to love expression. They seemed to get tired too. They were found sensitive to individuals who were sensitive and paid utmost attention to them. Only the ones who loved them, cared for them, could communicate with them. He briefed that plants may be blind, deaf, and dumb in human sense, but there is no doubt that they are extremely sensitive instruments for measuring man's emotions. They radiate energy forces that are beneficial for mankind. There was another question. Can someone get inside a plant? Can someone really get inside a plant and experience what goes on there? Vogel visited Debbie Sapp in St. Joe's, and she nodded that she would try to get inside a plant. She relaxed and then, seemingly detached from her body, she could feel herself inside a plant body. She described the feel as that of acceptance and positive protection by the plant, and that there was no sense of time, just a feeling of unity, of existence and space. So Vogel's experiment findings were incredible. He found out and proved that plants had a different level of consciousness or power to connect with human emotions. He could also point out a negative emotion person through a single breath. Isn't this magical? He could well connect plants with humans that was so powerful, or a cosmic relationship, or some kind of life force that was connecting link between flora and fauna. By flora, we mean the plant kingdom, and by fauna, we mean the animal kingdom. Vogel also noticed that when he trained children to touch plants, They could instantly feel impulses and vibrations. And when they were told to hold them empathetically, they could respond to those vibrations. The same findings were absent or rare with the grown ups because their approach was more of a mechanical in nature rather than to be intended for communication or building up a bond. He found out that plants also get affected just like humans, just as fresh plants or blooming flowers make us so happy, and the flaccid and the decaying ones bring about negative energy in us. Plants also behave the same. They are happy with ones who love them and sad with ones who don't adore them enough. Vogel postulated that stress of the unknown and built up pressure is the cause of many illnesses, and also established the fact that water has a key role to play in predicting the psychic status of an individual. So much so that plants can be used as an effective tool to read the mental stress of any individual and even plan kids to help him through this. In the third chapter, the experience of Pierre Paul Sauvin also added on a lot to our green plant kingdom. Sauvin, also known as electronic specialist, wanted to use plants as stress alarm indicators. Sauvin was fascinated by the psychological implications of a plant responding to human thoughts and emotions. He felt that plants had an energy field compatible with humans that made him create the Wheatstone Bridge to further notice fine changes in plants. He also attached plants to an oscilloscope, the loops of which changed shape, and like this, he could make out the tiniest changes in the energy field of plants with various media. Another scientist, Brid, concluded after this that plants reacted to various stimuli and could read intentions. He worked on algae and studied on Baxter's effect by removing the nucleus to prove that the cellular genetic material was responsible for the extrasensory perception of plants, which we call ESP. He also used a psychological stress evaluator machine that could detect a person's voice modulation and detect the lie if he spoke any. Another scientist, Dr. Hashimoto, had enormous love for his cacti, and he affirmed that there was a fourth dimensional world that was being controlled by plants, and the fourth dimensional world that controlled the three-dimensional world as well. His most talked about invention was Device 13, by which missiles could be controlled by the power of mind. Isn't this hilarious and amazing? Similarly, another scientist, George Lawrence of California, found that living vegetal tissues were more sensitive than electronic sensors, and his equipments were even more significant, so that he could control the reading of a timer by remote control by staying miles away from them. Lawrence also inferred that plants are true extraterrestrials, for they had the power to connect early mineral soil or simple soil into a habitat friendly environment, and that they could be a medium to reach out and receive signals from the other planets. In 1971, another very beautiful experiment that I just cannot miss was a team of four medical doctors, two psychologists, a physicist, and two educators who created a film named Are Plants Sentient? They could demonstrate how plants get affected by sunlight, wind, clouds, the dark of night, stimulus from flies, and injuries from chemicals through time lapse photography. Karbonov, another young biologist, worked on microthermosensors, weight tensiometers, etc., and related plants' physiology to their psychology too. Isn't this all very deep? A great experiment that I would like to share here is that of Pushkin and Fetisov, who were psychobotanists and worked for hypnotizing a girl Tanya and attached her to plants and an encephalograph. Out of the numbers 1 to 10, she was told to keep one number a secret, and the number should not be revealed at any cost was told to her. The plant was attached to the girl, and the plant could sense the changes in her mind every time that number was being called up. So, yes, can plants read our mind? Do we get an answer for that? India has produced one of the greatest scientists. Another epic add on to the kingdom of plants research was that of the great Indian scientist Sir Jagdish Chandra Bose, whose work was praised in Encyclopedia Britannica. His childhood's rustic experience of life made him inquisitive about nature. He was awarded with the Yuga Pravartak or Knighthood Award in 1917. He was against patent and wanted to share his discoveries with the world, and Marconi got the advantage and name for Bose's work. Bose is also known as the father of wireless telecommunication. He had invented the mercury coherent, a radio wave that was used by Marconi to build an operational two-way radio. The science behind capturing radio waves was first demonstrated by none other than our Sir Jagdish Chandra Bose. His instrument crescoscope was a great invention as it could magnify the cells of the plant to a great level. This crescoscope could notice minute details like growth of plants in less than 15 minutes after the action of fertilizers, food, or electric currents with supreme accuracy. He also gave us new terminology, like he called the roots geotrophic as they grew downwards towards the soil, and heliotropic was the stem and the leaves that grew towards the sun or the helios. He matched animal kingdom with plants like never before. His discoveries proved that plants could have lower resistance if fatigued or poisoned, and they could suffocate if there was excess of carbon dioxide, just like humans and animals. Plants given shots of whiskey or gin were found to be intoxicated, and they too swayed and had hangovers. He proved that under simple and complex conditions, plants could behave in same manner like us or animals. He could exactly point out the connection by his experiments on nerves and plant tissues. Another important Indian scientist in 1950, T.C. Singh, must be mentioned here. Mr. T.C. Singh was HOD of Botany at Annamalai University of Madras. Just like Charles Darwin, he found that when a particular Indian music, Kara Hara Priya, was played to some balsam plants in the fifth week of their growth, they produced an average of 72% more leaves than in control or the other plants. In 1963, he piped the Charukesi Raga That was a kind of Indian music on gramophone via light loudspeakers to six varieties of paddy rice, growing field, and got 25 to 60% more harvests than the regional average. And this so clearly proved that plants could not only enjoy music eternally, but they grew more. That was the magic of music on plants. So it was proved that they do feel and react to music like us. Similarly, there were many experiments in a row, which is practically impossible to mention here as of now, who have worked hard to find profound joy and liveliness in our green world. We ourselves have so many traditional, cultural, and religious beliefs associated with plants like the sacred Indian tulsi that is considered to bless merely by its presence around our home, along with the positive energy and its sacred value. It's excellent for human body and rids us of many ailments. But so many times the unused leaves are disposed of in the dustbin. Our role to use our plants sensibly starts right here. Let's teach our new generation to respect, adore, and love plants. For example, plants nurture us, but consuming them in uh, inappropriate amounts and untimely basis can cause diseases. And the same plants, when taken in proper proportions, act as medicines and help us to heal and get healthy again. After going through this incredible book, Our Secret Life of Plants, and reading about various scientific experiments, we can sum it up as yes, plants have energy, they are alive, they do have some kind of extrasensory perception that is supreme to our five sense organs, isn't it? They read our mind, and yes, they can read our mind. They are just like us and animals, as emotional as us all. There are experiments that prove that plants can act as sensors for missiles that may be miles away. Plants miss us when we are not around and feel elated when we come back. Can't we compare them somewhat to children, our children, who sense love, need love, and care? They bloom when we love and take care of them. They might not express and reciprocate in the same manner, but yes, they turn sad, die, and decay in absence of love. They can also feel hatred and jealousy like children have sibling rivalry. So, why not let these plants bloom? Dear friends, after this deep dip and inculcating love for plants, let's take a loving and passionate look at our animal kingdom too. We connected and compared plants just now with our babies. But what about animals, millions of whom are slaughtered to come to our dining tables? Let's think about the mothers of those animals. What if we place ourselves in their place? How would we feel if the same thing happens to our children? On the same place, plants are always happy to provide us with food. They offer themselves us very happily. Apart from this emotional and spiritual side that inclines us towards vegetarianism, as an Ayurvedic doctor, these are proven facts that being vegan reduces risks of many diseases like cancer, asthma, hypertension, diabetes, and many others. So let us all pledge to be vegan, vegetarian, so that there is harmony in our world, and let's create more love on this planet. There is a Sanskrit beautiful text that says Vasudev Kutumbakam. That is, the world is one family. So let's spread love, give love, and happiness, and experience real bliss to be born as humans. I would, in the end, like to thank Dr. Sangeeta Mehra ma'am, who has pledged to lead and spread the light of spiritualism through meditation. It is an incredible achievement that she has created PMC platform and connected so many countries of the world together. And now she's spreading this enlightenment to in the entire world through many channels, which are PMC Global, PMC English, PMC USA, PMC UK, and Spiritual Pyramid Health Channel Malaysia, Mahadrashta Pyramid Channel, along with PMC Haryanvi. Thank you all for such a patient listener, for being so beautiful and listening to me. Thank you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you, madam. Thank you so much. It was such a wonderful session today. Oh my God. I mean, how to communicate with the plants is like amazing concept, ma'am. I mean, for the first time, I've been trying to understand like how you can communicate with the plants, and you said like it is possible even if you wanna if you do when you do the meditation, you can communicate with them and understand their feelings and address their concerns and all. It was amazing, amazing, ma'am. I mean, like I always wanted to understand the medical sciences, but today it's like how we are connecting the spiritual sciences with other species is it's really important. It's a really a very great knowledge sharing session today because everybody should understand the concept, the what the feelings and emotions of the other species along who are born along with us, because we are all from the same cosmos. So we need to understand how they feel, and we need to help them, help each other to build a group consciousness. I am so glad that I got the opportunity to host such a beautiful soul who communicates with the plant species and understand the concern and helping everybody. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart, madam. So much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Rashmi.
Thank you for the lovely appreciation.
It was heartfelt, ma'am. Seriously, I mean, when you were talking, I was just sitting in the meditation, and then I was trying to visualize what you have been trying to tell, because the concept is so beautiful. We love plants, and we're growing plants in and around the house, but you don't know how to communicate with them. I
Very.
have a beautiful peace lily. It's in my main floor. It's a beautiful peace lily. So I talk to her all the time, and then my husband is like, "Have you gone mad? Why do you talk with?" But somehow I could connect with it. And then when it drops down the leaves, I'm like, okay, are you hungry, baby? Let me pour you some water, kind of a thing. And when it blossoms, I just appreciate it. And also, I could correlate what you're talking about. It was such a wonderful, theory behind it. So that's why I was like, it was amazing, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Rashmi, ma'am, you wanna summarize? You're on mute, ma'am.
Hello, good evening, everybody, and a very warm welcome to all of you. Thank you, Dr. Sangeeta, Sai Krishna, Deepti, and all the organizers of this beautiful platform to give me an opportunity for summing up Dr. Samidha's lovely presentation on the book, The Secret Life of Plants. It's such a pleasure. Dr. Samhita has given such a wonderful presentation in which she has very aptly described that the plants on whom we depend so much for our food, for our shelter, for the medicines that we take, the fiber, etc., have a secret life of their own. It's unbelievable, but it is to be understood that they also have their own secret life. Plants, animals, human beings are all interdependent and owe their existence to each other, keeping the world green, keeping the climate in control, getting us the rain. For all this and much more, we should be thankful to the plants. Also, the plants give us a better yield, as Samita was just explaining. When we speak to them, we talk to them, we sing with them, or we play music to them. Dr. Samita, you have beautifully described as to how plants are sensitive and sentient, and how, if we give them love, nurture them with care, and we look after them, they give us our best. They bring joy and happiness to our day to day lives. The oxygen that plants provide us is one of the main things. That is why we exist on this earth. Without oxygen, I'm sure neither the plants, nor the insects, nor human beings, nobody can exist. We must therefore look after them, love them, nurture them, and take care of them, as Samita has rightly said, as our children. As we look after our children, we take care of them. So we should also look after the plants and take care of them. We should not ignore them or treat them with disdain. In her presentation, Dr. Samidha, you have brilliantly portrayed the experiments carried out by various scientists, including our very own Sir Jagdish Chandra Bose. You have explained in great detail as to how the response of plants has been used to detect lies, how they come up with their own emotions when we love them, hate them, are angry with them, and they also display jealousy, hatred, etc. to us. All these things show that the plants are amply sentient. The experiments also bordered on or near the near supernatural when one of the scientists asked one of the uh, others to enter the plant and be one with it. This is, I don't know how it is possible, but however, it was made possible. And I think the end result was very good. You have beautifully explained the value of plants in our lives. And you have further gone to say that our forefathers, who were basically vegetarians and always advocated vegetarianism, for it kept them physically and mentally active, as well as free of a lot of diseases, of the diseases which we see today, like cancer, etc. They should be emulated and should be followed. They taught us that we should worship plants and trees, enjoy their shade, meditate under them, and consume them judiciously for what they offer us because it is the purest and the best form and best for our health and for the health of others around us. Nature is great. It always gives us what is best for us. We always try to play around with nature. We should all energize ourselves by partaking whatever nature gives us, nurturing and consuming what has been decided for us by nature. Being a vegetarian gives us more energy, more positivity. We should allow the energy of universe flow in the right direction. With this, Dr. Samidha, I would like to conclude that we have really enjoyed your description of the book, The Secret Life of Plants. Thank you. Thank you once again.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your beautiful words of appreciation and words of wisdom as well. It's beautiful that everyone has connected so nicely with my Secret Life of Plant book review today. And let us all meditate for 5 minutes now. So, as we all know, meditation is food for soul. And it doesn't only confine itself to a particular race, religion, country, or age. Everyone needs some me time to connect with the Almighty, with their inner self and inner consciousness. So let us all, wherever we are sitting, just ease our body, ease our mind, and close our eyes for 5 minutes. Let us all close our eyes. Let us all bring about our body, our beautiful mind, our soul, and connect with the Almighty and our inner conscious. The best way to connect our mind with our body is our breath. It is that prana or the life or air, particularly oxygen, that infuses life into all of us. Let us concentrate on every inspiration, inhalation of air through our nose, feeling it inside our chest, expansion of chest, and how this oxygen or prana or life reaches every little cell of our body to keep it alive, to keep it happy, to keep it energized and healthy. And yes, this oxygen comes back in the form of carbon dioxide so as the healed up cells give away the debridement and the waste back through the same channel. Let's concentrate on each inhalation, on each breath that enters in the form of life and replenishes us, and concentrate on the air that we breathe out. On this very special day, when we talked and thanked the plants, the ones who are responsible for our life, for the oxygen they liberate, we must thank the plants, the animals, the Almighty who have blessed us with this beautiful human body. We all are born with special brain, and as human beings, we are far more superior and capable of giving back what we have received from nature with our love and care. It is also our duty to do or help and go along with the nature so that this mother nature always keeps us in her laps like her baby, and so that pandemics or something that we call and can assume as nature's fury doesn't disturb mankind as it might be a way of nature giving back what we gave it. So, yes, along with our breaths, let's take a pledge to love nature back by loving its creations, be it flora, the plant kingdom, be it fauna, the animal kingdom, and be it the bounty of nature, everything. Let's be thankful and try to make this world a better place to live in. Let's say Om three times. We will chant Om three times. Inhale. Om. Let's all rub our hands. Our eyes will be closed for another 20 seconds. Let's warm up our palms and spread this warmth all over our face so as to energize and imbibe the energy that we received as a blessing after this small meditation time. Let's all open up our eyes gently and again be thankful to everyone.
Thank you, madam. Thank you so much for that wonderful meditation. It was so pleasant, very gentle, and very divine. Thank you. Thank you once again.
Thank you so much.
We have a comment from the YouTube. Somebody named Ravi Garu. He is saying like it's a beautiful series, and thanks to all the organizers and the speakers for doing this. So thank you so much, Ravi Garu, for your love and support. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Okay, friends. Then we're ending the session for today. So we'll meet with another speaker for tomorrow. Thank you once again, Dr. Samidha Sharma, for the wonderful session on life of plants, the secret life of plants. And it is really very motivating, and everybody should follow this because we are all of the same species. We are like siblings of the Mother Earth. So please try to connect with the plants and try to understand their feelings and emotions. And when you give love and when you care for them, they will nurture more. Thank you. Thank you so much. Signing off, this is Deepti Anam from Atlanta, Georgia. Bye.